All right, gentlemen. Time for the ultimate Killer Klowns from Outer Space rewatch. Buckle up.
Born ready. Popcorn's out. Down the clown.
And my clown figures are prepped for battle. Or maybe I'll just make them kiss. Probably both.
Did we just turn into some kind of human USB?
Shit, I'm floating. Why the hell does my ass feel sticky?
We're inside the movie. Look, there's the ice cream truck. And holy shit, those clowns.
Okay, think. How did the protagonist survive this nightmare?
Well, step 1, don't get slimed in your mouth, ass, or anywhere else. Step 2, don't be turned into cotton candy snacks. Step 3, fuck, we're screwed.
Run, now.
Over there, the popcorn gun. Maybe we can weaponize it?
But only if I can shoot a clown in the ass first. What? It's a matter of principle.
Forget etiquette, Tim. Grab the gun.
Alright, we just need to stick together. And don't let Tim get naked again.
No promises. Those clowns are hot. If you ignore the gnarly teeth.
You're a nasty little boy, Tim.
Did we actually survive? Or is my ass still sticky?
Guys, this movie might be permanent.
Great. Guess we're the new cotton candy fuckboys of outer space. Welcome to the Itty Bitty Horror Podcast with Luis and Tim. In this podcast, we discuss everything from horror movies to the scariest tales out there.
Yes, we do.
With a little bit of clown humor, I'd say so myself.
Oh, pretty funny then.
Yes. Everybody, welcome. It's finally here. The best time of the year. October. Ah, it's October.
October.
Yes. And to celebrate, we're launching a brand new series called Midnight in October. What is this? Well, Tim says it's a 5-episode... Wait, no, let me say that again. Well, it's 5 episodes packed with horror movie recaps, nostalgic terrors, and sequels to previous traumatizing tales. Since this is our very first episode, we had to start strong with a Halloween vibe, the 1988 cult classic, Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And joining us for the ride is someone perfect for this conversation, Chris, a former choreographer of the New Kids in the Block and current full-time cinephile. Chris, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Hello to you, Chris.
You weren't a little jolted by me saying that you were a former choreographer for New Kids on the Block?
No, I mean...
He didn't even balk at that once. He was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, the moves are there, you know?
Yeah. Chris is a really good dancer.
He is.
FYI.
That's true. We've seen.
The moves speak for themselves.
Exactly.
They really do.
Thank you again for being on the podcast. I know we've talked a little bit in the past about like having you on and just discussing, horror movies most likely because you are a big movie fan, right?
That is true, my friend.
Mm-hmm. And I can confirm this because every time I hear about you guys and what you guys are all up to, I always find out that you're watching movies, and I'm jealous because I'm also a movie buff and I want to watch, those little independent movies that people watch.
Those little independent movies that people watch.
Cool artistic people with, Persian rugs and candles in their homes, I imagine.
Yeah. Also, we want to let our listeners know that we are all having a little sip.
The devil's juice.
The devil's juice, a little bit of whatever.
So, I made that up, I think.
I have
anyway.
a cup full of devil right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, no, it's actually the strawberry vodka soda that I bought the other day. But what are you drinking, Tim? What are you drinking, Chris?
I'm having some sort of hazy IPA situation over here. The can tells me it's lush, tropical, and juicy.
Sounds like the clown that we saw yesterday at the... I don't know what I'm saying. Tim, what are you drinking, Tim? Are you drinking anything fancy? Or are you fancier than both of us, I guess?
Oh, much fancier. I'm drinking a black cherry White Claw.
Ooh. Oh, never mind. Thank you for telling us what you're drinking, Tim. And Chris.
You're welcome.
We are discussing, again, what we talked about earlier, the B horror movie classic Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Now, before we get into this, Chris, I'm going to put this on you since you're a big cinephile. You're going to know this, but for our listeners that may not know, what makes a B movie?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Luis. Yeah, I mean, oftentimes, you got a low budget, quick production schedules, practical effects, campy, exaggerated performances.
But there's another key element that you guys are forgetting.
Ooh.
That originally B movies, and you're gonna know that I Googled this beforehand because I was like, I'm coming prepared to this one.
The one time he's prepared. Go ahead.
I know. Well, B movies did originate in that era of double features, so they would be released as the second feature.
Oh, yeah.
When people would see the kind of cool first movie, like it would be like Jaws, and then the second thing would be like killer spiders from the planet Neptune. Yeah.
Piranha. Yeah. No, it's true. And that is like the B version or the B side of the CD, I guess you would say. I don't know. Where it's just like the uglier stepsister of the more attractive main attraction, you would say. Chris, Tim, thank you so much for that. But some examples of this are like Killer Klowns from Outer Space, which we're discussing today, Plan 9 from Outer Space, Todd's Avenger, The Blob. Have you seen any of these films?
Yes. Plan 9 from Outer Space, I have seen a lot as a kid. And I think my high school band sampled a little clip from that movie. And I was going to say, like a good movie that's about the making of that is Ed Wood by Tim Burton.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a fun movie. It's good. I don't know.
And it has Sarah Jessica Parker in it.
And you got Johnny Depp wearing Angora sweaters. It's fantastic.
Johnny Depp in a Tim Burton movie?
Yeah, I know. It's wild.
Crazy, yeah. Well, I was going to say, I have seen a few B movies, but I would say that they were... I haven't seen a lot of these older ones. I have seen The Meg, which I consider to be a B movie.
Yeah.
And I have seen is The Room a B movie? That's like a D movie.
That is very much a B movie.
It's like the lowest form of a B movie though, isn't it?
Fantastic. I've been telling Luis that I own this somewhere on DVD, but there's a trauma film called Killer Condom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about an Italian private detective named Luigi Macaroni who's investigating a case where basically a bunch of people in the city are having condoms bite their penises off. So
no,
yeah, that's why I always go bareback. I've seen The Blob to take a really sharp left turn here. Just kidding. No, I think you definitely mentioned Killer Condoms to me before. I feel like a lot of these movies that would be considered, B movies or even like exploitation type films, because like we talked about this in an earlier episode where Tim and I talked about hexploitation. There's like hicksploitation and blaxploitation and all these different movies that exploit a specific subject. And I wonder like if some of these actually do fall into those categories as well. Like, do you think any like hexploitative films that we've seen before would fall into this category?
I mean, I definitely think that hexploitation movies, the only reason why they have the credibility, quote unquote, that they might have is because they have these like A-list or former A-list stars in them. And if it was just like, the kind of actors that are in Killer Klowns from Outer Space who are like, community theater actors from like Pasadena, then I feel like it would be a B movie, like fully.
Yeah, I just remembered Ginger Dead Man. Have you guys ever seen that one?
Ginger Dead Man.
I've definitely heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Gary Busey, fallen star Gary Busey is a murderous gingerbread cookie.
I could see that for him, especially given his mugshot.
Yeah, not great. Well, the movie that we're going to be discussing today, as I mentioned earlier, is Killer Klowns from Outer Space. The movie currently holds a 3.4 on Letterboxd and sits at 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. And if you use Metacritic, it's at 69 rating, I guess. Is that how you say it? 69 rating? Yeah, it's not 69%. Anyway.
You say so.
The film was released on May 27th, 1988 by Transworld Entertainment via, eventually MGM purchased it or got it or something. But the thing is, I think there's no like actual box office numbers that I could find. I saw that internationally it made like maybe $327 or something, and then they said read somewhere else that it made
$327 internationally or nationally?
Internationally, and then I read somewhere else that it made around 1 to 2 million or something like that. But then where it really made its money was in VHS rentals. Back in the 80s, Tim, you were probably like 20 years old at that time.
I was, I was really old back then.
Yeah. And it made its money in VHS rentals and, whatever. And it made like $40 million. And, as the years progressed, it got a cult following. And just to give you a little bit of a picture, to set the scene, it was 1988. It was peak franchise mania with movies like Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Friday the 13th Part 6. Yep, they were dominating theaters. So, a small little film like Killer Klowns from Outer Space really didn't exactly stand a chance on the big screen. But this was also the golden age of VHS rentals. And video stores gave B horror movies a second life. Suddenly, low-budget movies and offbeat movies like this, they could skip the box office completely and just go straight to VHS and rentals and whatnot, and that's how they got their massive cult following, right? And this was like in the era where they had like the big three M's. You had Michael Jackson, Madonna, and MTV, right? So people, I don't know where I'm going with that actually.
I was curious. I was like,
I thought you were going to say,
does this relate?
Yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage. I was waiting for that one.
And Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah, no, but okay, let me just
don't forget Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Mr. Belvedere.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Oh God.
This shows the age, okay?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. But Killer Klowns is a perfect example of how over the years it's evolved into a true cult classics. It has toys, you have lunchboxes, a full soundtrack re-recording. I think there's even like a maze, like a crop maze or a haunted house at Universal Orlando's Horror Nights. Have you heard of those horror nights that they have in Universal?
Definitely. They compete with the Six Flags ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and there's like Halloween costumes. And have you all been to a Spirit store? You've seen the animatronics and the different...
Course.
Yeah. And...
I don't mean to brag here, but I did work at a year-round costume store called
No way.
Costume Castle.
You told me that, actually.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, Costume Castle. I know I could give you a rundown. All the major distributors. You got Ruby's, California Costumes, Leg Avenue. Keeps going.
I want to work at Leg Avenue. That much I know.
Yeah, that's all the sexy stuff.
Hell yeah.
No, but it's funny because like when Chris mentioned this in the past, I was like, Costume Castle sounds like it would be perfect if they set like an office / Parks and Rec type show there. It's a year-round castle. I don't know. Okay, never mind. You guys
I don't think it would.
I say it would.
we had a good time.
Yeah, exactly. And Tim, you say the same thing about where we used to work. He's like, oh, this could be a TV show. And Anyway. But there's also an official video game. And now, as of April 2025, there's a remake in the works with Ryan Gosling attached.
Oh my gosh. Well, he improved the Amityville horror franchise so much with his take on that why would he not get involved?
Ryan Reynolds? That's somebody else. How dare you confuse our attractive white men?
Oh, I'm sorry. All the Ryans. I'm sorry, listeners. Forgive me for that one. I know you guys are very intelligent and will forgive me for such a gaffe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Luis. Yeah.
I'm gonna cut this. Yeah.
Stop cutting things.
I'm gonna cut your balls, bitch.
Oh shit.
Anyway, Chris, did you have anything to add?
This is the first time hearing about it, but I am on board.
Chris, don't lie. You're a fan of Ryan Gosling. You watch all his movies.
Any of the Ryans mentioned, I am on board.
All the Ryans?
Ryan Seacrest? Why not?
Okay. Yeah. Come to think of it, I can't think of a bad Ryan.
I'm sure there's some horrible Ryans.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I can name a few.
Well, not me.
A former boss. Anyway, let's talk about the cast.
We apologize to any of our listeners named Ryan or know of a close or loved one named Ryan. It was the alcohol talking. Love you very much. Kisses and hugs.
Do any of you recognize any of these folks? Because I do not.
I was saying this, full disclosure, Luis and I watched this together. And I was
jealous.
I was saying that the Mooney, the asshole cop, he was like the dean in Animal House.
Oh, I could see that for him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember Animal House that well. That's like a total boomer movie that like my dad loves. And
yeah, I know that's a very dad movie.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. There are a couple of people that I want to look up the old like prospector type guy, the owner of Pooh Bear, R.I.P. Pooh Bear, justice for Pooh Bear.
Yes, hashtag.
I feel like he did voices for like cartoons in the 80s or something.
He did have that vibe. I agree. And also, I can't help but think that the nice blonde, low-key kind of hot cop in this movie, I can't help but think that he was like a soap opera actor, just given his range that he was doing.
Yeah, I can see that.
I could picture him on like The Young and the Restless or General Hospital.
I think one of them was on Young and the Restless, but I don't know if it was the woman, Suzanne Snyder, who played Debbie Stone, or if it was the guy who played the cop, John Allen Nelson, who played Officer Dave Hansen. One of them was in Young and the Restless. I remember looking at their IMDb. And,
okay.
And
well,
here
there we
you can
go.
see the older man, the one that you were talking about, Chris, is Royal Dano.
Yeah.
Royale Dano. I don't know, whatever. He's Farmer Gene Green. Very creative with the names. Also, the name for Mike is called Mike Tobacco, which apparently was a riff or reference to something.
Huh. The anecdotes we have on our show are just so juicy, listeners. You agree?
Yeah. No, right here it says many of the characters in the film, including Mike Tobacco, the Terenzi brothers, and Joe Lombardo, were real names and based on real childhood buddies of the Chiodo brothers. Mike Tobacco was known for bringing girls to make out with.
Make out point, like, make out reef.
Yeah. They were known for making out somewhere. The Terenzi brothers really did rent an ice cream truck with the hopes of getting girls, just like Tim did when he was like trying to get some girls when he was younger.
Of course, who doesn't remember their ice cream truck day?
Yeah, you go to make out point, you bring some champagne and a fancy little glass in the back of your car.
Of course, and then you start yelling at all the people who are making out, and then you bring out two women who are in the back seat of your ice cream truck, and you say, "I thought we were just gonna sit here and make something happen."
Meanwhile, they're deep throating a fucking ice cream.
Yeah, they were like, "What kind of girls do you think we are?" While they're like gagging onto popsicles.
There's like, this is really, really, really boring. You guys are, and I'm just gonna go to the back and suck on these popsicles. But they didn't do it with any poppers, and that's the problem.
That's the key. That's so right.
You need poppers in order to deep throat an ice cream thing.
Wow, so true.
I'd say so myself.
No, I agree.
It was a night like any other night. Then something happened. You see that? Something different.
It's no shooting star.
Why here? Why now? Why clowns? They've been knocking them dead all over the universe.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?
Soon they'll be doing it at a theater near you.
Killer Klowns from outer space.
Maybe they're just cruising through the galaxy and stopped here for a bite to eat.
You don't need a police, pal. You need a psychiatrist. They want to play games? They're messing with the wrong guy.
What are you in for?
Killer Klowns from outer space. It's crazy.
Before we get into the synopsis, Tim, yesterday when we were watching the film, I don't know, Chris made a joke about something. He started laughing. I said, "You sound exactly like the demonic clowns right now."
Oh no!
Not right now, the way he's laughing right now, but yesterday he was like having maybe a little bit too much to drink, and he was like, I was like, "Oh shit, no!"
Chris, is that your laugh when you're really belly laughing? Do you sound like a clown?
I told him that my someone had told me that that's my evil white man laugh. I guess it comes out every once in a while.
Oh my gosh!
Just like Tim.
I have that too.
Okay, well, Tim, can you tell the listeners what is the movie about? Just a short description. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, off the top of my head, When teenagers Mike, played by Grant Kramer, and Debbie, played by Suzanne Snyder, see a comet crash outside their sleepy small town, they investigate and discover a pack of murderous aliens who look very much like circus clowns. They try to warn the local authorities, but everyone assumes their story is a prank. Meanwhile, the clowns, I should say, set about harvesting and eating as many people as they can. And it's not until they kidnap Debbie that Mike decides it's up to him to stop the clowns' bloody rampage.
Wow, that was right off the top of your head, huh?
I know. I just thought of that. I mean, I remembered, and I was like, oh yeah, that's my description.
Very well
I like
said.
how you memorize. I'm very well spoken. Yeah, well said. This is the first time watch for both of you, right?
It was for me.
Yes.
Yeah, for both of you. So before you saw the film, I want to ask both of you this question. But like, I'm obviously you had heard of the film, but is there a reason why this is the first time watch for you? Like, why it was just recent? Is it because of like, I don't know, biases, expectations, or anything like that?
I was very familiar with the VHS box from going to video stores as a kid. So it's just always been around. I think I've seen like clips of it, like while like at bars and it's playing on the TV. But this guy, Luis, has been talking about it for a very long time. And so they finally got me to watch this.
He sounds like a loser.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm glad I did. Spoiler alert, I fucking love this movie.
Wow, nice. Well, I have to say, I cannot. Let me see. You asked why didn't I see this before?
Yeah, what had you heard before about this movie? And why didn't you see it, I guess, until just recently?
I mean, I don't think I ever heard of it. I have to say,
Really?
I don't think. No, well, okay, no, that's not true. I have heard of it, like I've heard of the title, but I hadn't heard like anyone say like, "Oh, I love Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I can't get enough of Killer Klowns from Outer Space."
Yeah.
So, and also I don't usually watch B movies unless it's like The Room, where it's like something that is like known for being like so bad it's good. And yeah, like I just had not heard a lot of talk about this one. It also, maybe it's like a thing if you were like grew up in the time of a lot of VHS rentals, which I was at like kind of the tail end of. Like when I was a kid, people still went to like Blockbuster, but it was sort of being phased out.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Well, Chris, just so you know, that's Tim's way of calling us old geezers. But
I was going to say, yeah, we get it. You're young.
Oh my God. I'm just a young ingenue, and I deem to be on this podcast with you guys, but whatever.
yeah. Okay, well, before we go, I guess what we're going to be doing differently is we're not actually going to be doing a recap in terms of like going scene by scene by scene. I just want to get your overall thought. Yeah, well, I just want to get your overall thoughts, and we can just talk about like your favorite gags, your favorite moments. Maybe it's the storyline overall. What's your favorite part? The music, the costumes, etc. But I guess I'll start off with like one thing, a positive thing, because I know Tim. We spoke earlier, but what's one positive thing that you have to say about the movie to really, I guess, influence one of our listeners to be like, you know what? Because Tim said this, I'm going to watch it now.
Oh boy, the pressure's on me. Well, one positive thing I would say, I love a good 80s movie. I think movies from the 80s are so... There's an aesthetic quality about them that I love. I love the frizzy hair. I like the preppy sweaters that everyone's for some reason in this movie.
Yeah.
I like the 80s soundtrack. I like the 80s kind of special effects with the puppets because they didn't have any CGI at the time. Yeah, all those things are fun aspects for me. So, yeah.
So you would tell our listeners, like, hey, if you really just enjoy 80s aesthetics and vibes and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel like it's a fun little watch for that kind of vibe. Yeah,
you have your eye out for that. Okay, Chris.
I was gonna say, piggybacking off that, I was surprised it was, for better or worse, it was a PG movie.
Yeah.
Which probably worked out better, but
they said the F word.
I don't know. Did they? There was a lot of
once.
Yeah, I think you're allowed to. Yeah, I don't know.
But
you might be right.
That was probably considered.
I was surprised. I'm like, I was surprised at the lack of nudity.
I know, what the hell,
and a lot of violence, but it still worked. It was a fun time. I love the soundtrack. The costumes were like actually really impressive for a movie of, I'm assuming, a pretty low budget. And
don't lie, Chris. You just love the circus and you thought the clowns were hilarious.
Well, no, I was saying that popcorn effect where it's like crawling on the ground when
how do they do that?
Well, I don't know, but also Debbie was taking a shower for about a good 45 minutes. It seemed like just we were clocking that. We're like, she's still in the shower. All right,
she felt really dirty.
Yeah, but I don't know how how they got that to work, but I did love where the Chiodos brothers. I read that they did like special effects for a bunch of movies. Like they did the Large Marge sequence in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which is like,
that makes so much sense. Actually,
that's a childhood favorite. And that, yeah, like if you look at that scene with the clown doing the like hand puppets and stuff, it kind of had that feel to it. But
the Kyoto brothers, they were the writers, directors, producers, I think, of the.
They were the Tommy
film.
Wiseaus of Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
I guess for me, one of my favorite parts of this is just the overall visual practical effects that they had. I mean, I don't know if you call it practical effects. It's more like the costume design for the clowns.
They were practical effects. That's what I was saying. There's no CGI. It's all like Large Marge type of like rubbery kind of creature looking effects.
Yeah, they had some, but it was like really, really bad where they shoot the gun that turns somebody into a cotton candy, whatever. It's like the little
cotton candy
laser.
cocoon.
There you go. Yeah. But I really liked the design of the clowns. I think they're fucking creepy.
I can't agree.
Yeah, I don't know. You might be alone in that one, Luis. I don't know if anybody's on.
It's a very unique opinion on this. I think the clowns look scary. What?
What? Huh? Well, that's okay. We can have a lively debate on this podcast. Let's have it out.
I did hear something that the Chiodos brothers they did the special effects for Ernest Scared Stupid, which was a childhood favorite, where
I did read that.
It's debated whether some of these costumes were reused for that movie or whatever. But,
wow, interesting. Yeah. But they were scary to you, huh, Luis?
Yeah, very, very scary. But anyway, I just think it's like, especially when they're laughing, when they open their mouths to laugh, they have obviously like this really placky.
You're right. That part's kind of gross and a little bit creepy. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
But the way it's like when they're laughing, they're like or whatever, and their ears are wiggling as well. Do your ears wiggle when you laugh?
We ask the tough questions on this program.
Where the Barbara Walters of
I'm gonna have to ask others on that. I don't know. I don't believe that they do.
Also, the way the bodies were shaped, they were like oddly kind of like very body positivity, right? Because some of them were like tall and skinny. Some of them were like, you know, shorter, fatter, rounder.
Right. These were rather progressive clowns.
Yeah, at least body wise. And also they
had that short king. That short king, that little guy.
Short king. I like him.
Yeah, he knocked the block off of that biker.
Yeah. There's a scene for our listeners, if you remember, where what's his name? Shorty, Twinkie, Twinnie, whatever.
I said I was going to look up all their names and memorize them, and I did not.
Well, the little clown is riding a little tricycle, motorcycle type thing, and he goes right into a back alley with a bunch of bikers. And of course, these are bikers from the 80s, kind of like Friday the 13th Part 3. I think it's 3, right?
Or like Terminator 2. There basically always has to be a biker gang in every
like
80s
corny
movie.
One. It's the corny bikers, because like
I know
these guys were just like sitting there. They didn't curse or anything, which is fine. But then the clown shows up. It's like, oh, look at this motherfucker. Let's fuck with him. And
but even the type of way that they're messing with him is really pretty like low level when you think about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like one of them just goes up, is like, "Is that your bike or whatever?" And
can I ride it?
Can I?
Are you being the clown there?
Yeah. He's like, "Can I honk the horn?" or whatever he does. I don't know.
He's like, oh, you could do that.
And then he fucking just grabs the bike and is like, wham, just throws it.
I know.
How do you feel about that?
It was rude. I didn't like that. I was like, you biker gangs.
I bet they only had one take on that one. They're like, all right, we got one bike. You better do this just into one take, buddy. Yeah.
You can't afford even a single other tricycle.
Yeah.
And then the clown just jumps up into the sky and then comes back down. He's like, whatever he does, I can't do it, obviously, but he's like ready to box him and be Mike Tyson or something, just exactly that. He knocks his block off.
Yes. He literally knocks his head off. And honestly, I will say, I think that moment was probably the goriest moment in this movie.
Oh, no, yeah.
Like by far, which to me was a little bit jarring.
Yeah, and they don't really show anything. It's just like, you can tell they just told the actor, oh, when he goes like this, like up, like an uppercut, just push your head all the way back to make it seem like he knocked it off, and we'll work something. And then they forgot to actually edit something into it.
I know.
It's just like,
and then it's like a rubbery head from Party City that lands in the trash can.
But it's also funny. I like that because when that happens and he knocks his block off and it's up in the trash can, everybody's like screaming, and they go like dan 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 dun 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 dun. Do you remember?
Yes,
Yep.
I do. That soundtrack was, I will say, the soundtrack has some good little moments.
It was good. I found out apparently the theme song was the band the Dickies. I don't know if
Oh yeah.
yeah, they're like kind of a punk band. Yeah, and they had like a keyboard player or something. They were never my thing, but I remember them from when I was a kid. Yeah. So I love the theme song. I thought it was solid.
Oh no, it's just really good. I really like it. Another thing that I like. Okay, so the movie takes place in this small town, right? They go up to what is it like? Lovers Peak,
Makeout Point, Lovers
Makeout
Peak,
Point,
something
yeah,
like that.
one
Top of the world.
Oh yeah,
I think
top
is
of
what
the
it
world.
was.
Yeah, because they're like eventually when they see the two main characters are ready to get it on, and they see a comet, and then they go. It's like, oh, let's find that comet. But again, a comet. If you see a comet that looks really close to the sky, wouldn't you think that's like still going to be hundreds of miles away?
Yeah, you'd assume that's in like Ireland by now.
Oh, they go and they find it, but before they do, I just want to make sure. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because that old man, the prospector, the prospect man or whatever, he's like with his little pail and his little shovel. Is like, we're gonna be rich,
And his dog. Don't forget his dog.
His dog Pooh Bear. And fun fact, well, I don't know if it's fun, but Chris, you actually nailed this because we were talking about this yesterday, where they had the cotton candy, cocoons, and we saw like the two main characters are in there, and they're like, oh my god, like they pulled the cotton candy and they find the old man, and there was this little small one next to it, and I said to myself like, oh my god, they already got children, but he's like, no, it's probably the dog. It's true, that's actually what it was when I looked up the trivia. So the little dog was cocooned.
Pooh Bear.
And probably never recovered.
Pooh Bear, what'd you do with my Pooh Bear?
Something funny's happening around here. What in tarnation's going on here? Where's my dog? Where's my Pooh Bear? I'll tear this thing apart with my bare hands!
Yes, the prospector is one of those things. He's one of those I feel like people that you have to have in a movie where he's like the little old hick who like comes across the thing and is the first little victim of the clown aliens.
And it's also funny because like the guy originally went there to see if he could get free tickets, apparently, or free passes.
He loves the circus.
And
This
then
guy.
apparently, and when they got the dog, and the guy was like pissed off and trying to hit the tent, he gets electrocuted or whatever, and then he falls. He's like, "What in tarnation's this?" And then the clown comes up, and then he just like starts smiling, like, "Hey, you got some free passes."
He had like no reaction where this like hideous gigantic clown walks up and he just stares at him. But
exactly,
whatever.
Nothing happened. Well, that's what makes it perfect.
Oh, true.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say after that, obviously, my other favorite scene is like once the clowns are, excuse me, once Mike and Debbie, the two lovers, are inside the tent and they figure out like, oh shit, this is like Killer Klowns from Outer Space. They just said it in the movie. It's the title of the movie. And they run out in the scene where they have like the little balloon dogs. Do you remember like when he turns like a balloon dog into
yes.
What do they call it? The hound?
Of course.
Yeah, so apparently those balloons in real life kept popping because as soon as they would put the balloon down where the needles were, the pine needles, they would start exploding or just popping, excuse me. So apparently somebody in the crew is like, oh, I have some like silicone whatever, and he put it underneath the balloon animal dogs and it kept them from popping. So just a little bit of trivia or a little background,
Wow.
Now, Luis, when you talk about Mike and Debbie, do you mean Mike, aka Chief Running at the Mouth? Is that who you're referring to?
Okay, Chief Running at the Mouth, calm down. Yeah, okay, so they make a very racist joke, obviously, and it's the 80s.
That's right. I remember that now.
And you think that she's going to be more progressive or not progressive, it's still the 80s, but like he starts making like me, well, I'm not even going to imitate it, but he starts making
let's not do that. I already...
I'll just be as bad as them. But he starts imitating them, and she's like, all right, Mr. Chief Running at the Mouth. And I'm like, these two deserve the worst, actually. How about that?
I know. They should be slaughtered by those clowns.
But then the clowns start walking into town, and one of my favorite scenes from the entire movie is when one of the big tall clowns, I think it's the one that you liked the most, Chris, but I could be wrong, was like, or maybe you liked the small one, I don't know. The short king.
I like the short king.
Okay, never mind. But there was like a tall clown with like spiky red hair or whatever. And he goes into a pharmacy and he starts like going through stuff and knocking stuff down, and then you just see like,
Oh yeah, there's a whole saga of the movie where this clown is just rummaging through the pharmacy, and the pharmacist is just looking at him like, "Oh,
well, he would,
excuse,
do you have a coupon? I have coupons. I'm sorry, Chris, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, if you look at the advertisements in the window, he was probably shopping for old time values. I think is what they were selling there.
It was like all time values. Yeah.
Those
like,
were the days.
Can I get something where we have? Okay, no, I'm not gonna say it actually.
Or it's shopping for that beer brand beer or cereal. I love when a movie does that, like
they have a non-brand
pizza.
Yeah, if you've never seen Repo Man, that's a solid one where they kind of lean into that. It's pretty funny. That's sort of like a take on a B movie.
Also, the guy who, geez, I think I removed that fun fact, but the guy who was walking with the beer, the white beer can, is somebody famous. So it doesn't really help anything here. Never mind.
Okay.
Was he a politician? Give us a clue.
Oh, I think I looked this up. It's this guy Titus. Is that who you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw when I just briefly looked up trivia facts. I kind of remember who that is, but yeah, I don't know. It was his first movie.
Yeah, first movie.
But that one clown did look like Donald Trump, so there's
yes, there was one clown who had the comb over, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So we have the pharmacy part. I think that's one of my favorite scenes because like when the camera's panning over and he's still like looking for something, I don't know what, and then you just see the two cotton candy cocoons there, which represents the two women that were like vaporized or whatever. But it's funnily enough, you just see their shoes sticking out of the cocoons. Like, how did that survive?
They were Manolos.
They just wanted to make sure to let you know, like, hey, by the way, the two women that you saw walk into the pharmacy, it's these two ladies right here because you can see the female shoes.
Yeah, true.
I totally didn't clock that, but there you go.
No, because you were taking notes at that moment. I was going to mention it to you. I was like, Chris, look. But then the clown just drops everything on the counter. It's like, okay, I'm ready to check out. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What are your thoughts on that gazebo scene with the little puppets?
Oh, with that weird looking dude?
I told you, I think he's gay. I think he was like closeted.
I don't know where you're jumping to that conclusion. I just thought he was kind of
right. He had like a blonde mullet and he kind of just stopped there and looked at the clown and started like enjoying himself.
Yeah, that's probably where he goes to cruise. And then and then he went there and he's like, oh, this is my cruising spot. Wait, what the fuck is this? And then he sees like a little puppet house show type thing. No?
Yeah, you're right. And then he's like, man, I'll take in a little show. I haven't been to the circus in a while. And then he starts going,
yeah, nothing weird about this.
Yeah, at first he starts rolling his eyes like, okay, whatever.
I'm over this. I haven't cared about this since I was a kid.
Exactly. And then they do the whole gun thing and he's like, like he's like really enjoying it, and then the little puppet points at him. He's like, huh? And then the fucking clown, and then the clown's like 10 feet tall, just like gets up and just like shoots him and turns him into a little cocoon.
I know, but you know, I honestly, one complaint I have about the movie, if we can get into it this early, is
I can't imagine what this is going to be.
What could they be? I know, flawless as it may be, but
yes.
One thing is, I don't know, maybe I just think, and I was telling Luis this before we recorded, but I feel like a movie can be campy and still have scary moments, if that makes any sense. And like, for example, I think Freddy versus Jason is kind of a campy, but also scary movie, right? And I don't know why, for some reason, I just kept thinking, why couldn't the clowns be like, I don't know, in the dark or I don't know, like something, and why couldn't like their guns with the cheesy like lightning bolt lasers be like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I know, I hear you. Some element of it that could be a little creepy, just so we can.
I hear you. Where I was kind of mentioning earlier, I brought up last night when we were watching it that I think a rated R version of this movie is probably better. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm sure that, you know,
Chris, just say you wanted to see the clown tits.
I mean,
we'll get to that.
We did. I believe me, on my phone, I do have a note: balloon titty clowns. So that's. But yeah, I think, you know, there's a rated R version of this that would be a lot more.
That would be interesting,
entertaining, and over the top. I'm sure, given the era there might be more chief running at the mouth moments or a little worse. But
yeah, that's true. But honestly, I mean, my thought is it could have been scarier. And then add to that, I feel like not only could it have been scarier, but like, I don't know, I feel like it's not that hard to make clowns scary. And I feel like when people think, oh my gosh, like, for our listeners who haven't seen this movie, you see the title, Killer Klowns from Outer Space. You might be thinking, oh no, is it like a gory, like, clown chopping people up with an axe or something like an American Horror Story? It's not. It's nothing like that.
I disagree. I think if anybody heard the title Killer Klowns from Outer Space, they're not expecting like a serious horror movie.
Well, a lot of people are afraid of clowns.
Well, yes, but if it was called Killer Klowns, period,
that's what they were going to call it, and then they went with Outer Space, I guess, to
cement its B movie status.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, and that's what it was. And I think that I get where you're both coming from. Like, I do agree. I think a rated R one would be pretty awesome. I don't think it would have the same cult following though, because I think the reason people like it is because it's obviously corny in the dialogue, especially in an R-rated film. They probably wouldn't do dialogue that's corny. They would probably do something even worse. Like, they wouldn't say, oh, look at here, chief running at the mouth. They probably would have said like, oh, look at here, you fucking face. I'll bleep that, obviously.
I wish they said that.
I wish they did. No, but I'm just saying, like, if it were rated R, they would be more vulgar with the dialogue and everything. And
I mean, it could be, but Friday the 13th wasn't that vulgar, like, language wise, was it?
Are you sure? Do you not remember Kelly Rowland calling Freddy Krueger
okay. Freddy versus Jason had a little bit. Yeah.
The only thing I remember was Freddy making a sort of racist comment to her at some point in the movie.
Oh yeah,
it's true. And she returned it by saying the F slur to him, and that exchange went down in history.
I totally random, but I was gonna say, just thinking of like B movies that are over the top. If you like the movie The Substance, or that end of that movie, there's a movie and bad acting. There's a movie called Society that is like horrible acting. It's like a satire, I guess. It's really just have a drink or whatever you partake in, and enjoy that movie, because it is very gory and disgusting, and
Society,
very, very fun. So if you want to go to the like complete other side of the spectrum on that, Society, check it out.
Okay, I'll put it on my watch list.
One more movie on the watch list.
Obviously, the clown kills that in the gazebo.
I love that the straight man in this conversation is uncomfortable.
No, they kill the little fairy in the gazebo, and then they go around town and they start, targeting other people, right? And one of them is like this sexy, like very, I mean, obviously it was of the time, but now I look at it as like this very cliche, but it's like a woman in lingerie holding wine. And then
I think she might have even been naked, right? And she was like just about to get in the shower.
She was wearing like a red lingerie sort of deal, I think, and she was like, "Oh, pizza." I don't know.
Yeah, somebody rings her doorbell, and she opens it with a glass of wine, and it's one clown holding a box of pizza. And goes, oh, I can't do it.
It's actually holding like 4 boxes of pizza, which I love that she just acts like, oh yeah, I was expecting that.
Yeah, she just seemed so bored by the pizza showing up to her door unannounced, just like, oh, not again.
She was like, pizza, or whatever. And then the 2 clowns from the side show up, and then she's like startled a little bit, and then the box opens and it's little Winky or whatever the clown, the short king, we'll call him, Bozo. And then he's like, she still will not drop her glass of wine, by the way. The clown just points the gun at her and is like, or whatever, and just turns into a little pink balloon. Oh no, cocoon. Excuse me.
Pink cocoon.
Oh, pizza.
I said they were pink little chodes. That's what I was going with there. But yeah.
Yeah, no. And then the next one is, again, she goes to another house and it's an older lady. I feel bad for her. She opens the door and then the clown is there because the clown is there and gives her a box of, chocolates in the shape of a heart. And she goes, chocolates for me? And then she turns like,
Luis, don't you say that all the time every time you go in to seize candy?
yeah. I'll just grab it and then I'll run away outside of the
For
fucking.
me.
No, and then she just holds it and she goes, Harold, is this from you? And it's like, bitch, there's a fucking disgusting looking clown there that's about to eat your, like, run.
I know.
Yeah.
Unless you're into that.
So as all this is happening, what are your thoughts on the cop? Like that asshole. Is it Moody or Mooney?
Oh, Mooney. Well, I mean, if you want to talk about favorite moments here, I mean, I have a note here. Mooney dummy hand up ass, because when
Oh my god. Wait, okay.
to jump forward,
amend what I say. That's the one actually kind of creepy moment. Continue.
Yeah. But I mean, you should watch the movie. So anyone listening, you know the part where the clown makes Mooney the cop into a dummy, like a ventriloquist dummy. He is talking with him and pulls his hand, a bloody hand out. I think his hand was up his ass. That's
I'm gonna
how
say I
you-
agree. I think that's what it was.
That's a very long hand, but yes, because normally when you do the like a ventriloquist type dummy, whatever, I mean, you normally go through the back, no, not through the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go up the keister, whatever.
And I mean, if you want to get way grosser about it, he also drew red lines on his mouth to make him look like a ventriloquist dummy. So what is the red is my question.
That's blood.
I feel no sympathy for Mooney.
No, he was an asshole.
Yeah, I mean those goth kids just wanted to drink wine and walk through the park, and just
That's
have
all goth kids do.
just have a quaint little night, listen to some Bauhaus, take a little bottle of $2 Chuck through the park, and
Listeners, if you don't know, one of the scene we're referring to very early on, I mean, really, Mooney is kind of the first person that we actually come in contact with in the entire movie.
Yeah.
And some of his scenes, I really love his scenes, honestly, because he's just so ridiculously terrible in every way. Like, he's just the worst person you can possibly imagine. And he's driving in his police car and he sees a guy walking with groceries and he's like, little punk or something like that.
Like, little bitch.
Yeah, and then when he goes to the station, like Chris was saying, he sees these two goth kids and he's like, what are they in here for? And they reveal, that they were drinking a bottle of wine while walking to their dorm. And then he like attacks them. Like they just revealed that they're like drug dealers.
Yeah, he brought them in though, like Mooney, whatever.
Yeah.
He brings them in thinking like, I got these two motherfuckers right here. And the other guy who's, we haven't mentioned as much, but the third main character is Dave, who is a cop who, according to Chris, looks like Tim.
I asked.
I was very flattered by that, Chris. By the way,
full disclosure, Tim and I
Tim
and I have met once before, and I remember you apparently having perfect '80s coiffed hair.
Well, I appreciate that. It's accurate.
Yeah. But yes, this fucking cop, Moody, is like, I brought these two punks in, and then the other guy's like, hey, you need to chill the fuck up. Like, that is why people don't fucking trust us.
I know. It's true.
And the guy is just like, oh, you want to make a mockery of this and that and blah, blah. And then at the end of that little scene, he's like, well, you ain't going to make a dummy out of me. And then cut to like 20 minutes later, he becomes a dummy.
Oh, that irony was lost on me. I didn't realize that. But there you go.
And that scene right there where he takes the clown, because a clown walks into the station, and he's like, oh, it's one of you motherfuckers. So you're the one wreaking havoc around town or whatever. And he tries to arrest him. Oh, no, he squirts his face with juice from his flower, right? And then he's like, oh, you think you're funny, huh? And then he's like, turn around, let me arrest you. And the clown's like, all right. And then the clown, he eventually leads the clown into the cell with the two goth kids. And that motherfucker's like, get in there. And the cop is like, oh, the clown is like, okay, sure. And he starts walking in. And he decides to hit the clown in the back of the head with his little nightstick.
First mistake.
Well, first he took his hands off, but
he put the handcuffs on the clown. The clown was like, nope, just leaving. Keep my hands.
And by the way, this town that they live in has a total of 2 cops working in this station: the evil, mean one, and then the nice blonde one.
I guess they filmed it around Santa Cruz. We ran into a buddy of mine at the bar last night who said, "Oh, they filmed that around where I grew up." So I don't know. It's
they filmed that in Santa Cruz.
Part of it there and some other, but yeah. So yeah, you got the Lost Boys and then Killer Klowns from outer space.
And
I love Santa Cruz
and the movie Us. Yes.
Yeah.
The clown is in the cell, and he turns around and then he gets one of those, what do they call those, party popper or whatever balloon thingies? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. I do, but I don't know what they are.
Yeah, well, he blows on that and turns to a hand and grabs Moody by the neck and basically crushes his skull on the fucking...
Oh, yeah. I liked that. That was cool. That was a nice little touch.
Yeah. That was a pretty fun little scene.
I honestly, though, was a little surprised by it, though, because everyone else, they're just beaming into their cocoons. But with Moody, they're just like, oh, I'm actually just going to smash his face against the jail bars.
Well, yeah, that guy's a dick. It's satisfying,
Well, but they don't know that. They have no conception of what a dick is. They're just clowns.
They're just clowns from outer space.
Just clowns from outer space. They're just harvesting cocoons. What do they know?
I don't mean to jump so far ahead here, Tim, but as it said at the end of the movie, one of the... Are they the Terezi brother? What is their names? The ice cream boys?
The Terenzi brothers.
Yeah, the Terenzi brothers, which if you didn't notice, one of the brothers has a pin that says, I like girls. That was a nice little touch on it.
Luis used to wear one of those in high school.
Yeah. I still wear one.
But they, one of those guys, they're having a conversation at the end where they're like, have they always been here or whatever? And they're like, maybe our idea of clowns comes from them, like some conspiracy theorists or something. So
that's where we got the concept of clown.
Yeah, from them.
So, you saying they don't know what dick, maybe they've always known. Maybe they've always been here,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the brothers, though. I hate
them.
Yeah, they were annoying, but I think they were hilarious. I
thought just the first thing.
Just annoying. But no, their main goal is, obviously they got together to buy an ice cream truck, and they thought that was their idea of luring in women, right? And as we mentioned in the beginning, there are two women in the truck eating ice cream, deep throating them, but not them. The
ice cream cones.
The ice cream cones, yeah, the popsicle sticks. But I think they're hilarious because, like, going towards the end, you know what, we won't go to the end right now, but they are driving the truck and they're using what is it called, the little, like, well, attention, blah blah blah, whatever,
megaphone.
Yeah, the megaphone, and they're just like talking on that the whole time, and they're just like bumping into what's his face, Mike, right?
Yeah, Mike, the main character.
Yeah, they bump into Mike for a little bit, and then they tell him, like, hey, there's actually killer clowns here. I was like, oh, come on, you think we're blah blah blah. I forgot their line, but they're just like, nobody takes him seriously. And then the minute one of their friends apparently goes up to them, is like, hey, there's actually killer clowns out here, and it's like, dude, you think we're fucking crazy?
I want to add something, though, to this, which is that these brothers, when we are introduced to them, they drive in, like we mentioned, to the makeout point. They announce to everyone that they're selling ice cream, but then they tell the girls they're with that they thought they could sit there and make out with them. And I'm like, well, wait, so you thought you would simultaneously sell ice cream to people that are trying to, like, not be seen, and then also... you know what I mean? And
I think it's all a cover.
Oh, for what?
I think they went up there and they're like, yeah, let's sell ice cream. Yeah, ice cream. And then,
but they actually announced things. What if they just went up there and then said, forget it?
If they sell some ice cream, that's great. But I think they bring the popsicle twins up there, and that's
maybe they're just trying to keep the illusion up for the girls.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're just like
devoted to the illusion.
They're devoted to the bit.
I mean, that guy has a pin that says, I like girls. I don't trust that guy,
Well, I mean, Tim has one attached to his balls, but
I already made that joke, Luis.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Can I interject here, because I feel like one part that we've overlooked is so Mike, Chief Running at the Mouth. I swear that's the last time I'll mention that. But Mike and Debbie are an item. And then I did guess this while we were watching the movie. I saw where it was going, but when she's like, let's go, I know somebody at the police station, I'm like, okay, there's going to be her ex-boyfriend.
I thought that too. Yeah.
So yeah, there's this whole sort of like other element of the movie where, Dave, is just hysterical woman, go home, take a shower,
they
whatever.
Both kind of say that too, which I thought was a little bit sexist, because they're both just like, oh, go home, this isn't safe, these are clowns.
Both of these guys suck, but she, those two guys go off on their little adventure, and they're like competing. Mike's just sitting in the back seat while Debbie and Dave are kind of catching up, and there's some weird tension there. So that sort of starts this whole thread of this weird tension that starts with Mike feeling jealous, and then there's Debbie and Dave, and then Dave and Mike are together, and I start feeling there's a little sexual tension between those two guys going on. Eventually, at some point, they get on the same. They get on the same page with things where, once Dave learns to trust Mike after he sees the pink cobwebs or the cotton candy,
that was cotton candy.
Yeah, then they're
Lest
together.
But it's also they definitely have a little bit of tension. I agree with that, and I want it to be real.
Well, I feel like so you have Mike and Dave on their quest together, and I feel like there's just a competitive thing going on, and then eventually there starts to feel like there is some sexual tension there between the two guys.
Yeah, you're right. There's some dramatic tension there, but honestly, something I'm remembering too from this movie is Mike is kind of this. He's kind of interesting because he loves those Terezi brothers. Do you remember that at the beginning when he is with his girlfriend?
He's like, I love these guys, or whatever.
And I'm like, why do you love them, Mike? You must be like the nicest guy ever.
Mike looked stoned the entire time. That guy's just
he's like always smiling, eyes glazing.
He was laughing through everything. Where he's just like, you want to go look at a meteor? What? Like,
what? It's a giant circus tent. Let's go inside.
I just want to drink champagne and make out on an inflatable raft in my car. What?
He's just like, no. There's that scene. Okay, so when you were talking about that earlier, Chris, about how they're competing with each other, but they're like on their little adventure. That's where it leads to another favorite scene of mine, is when they are driving and they're talking a little bit of like, okay, I believe you now. There's clowns out here, but where are they? And then that Mike guy goes like, look, clown. And it's a clown there doing like puppet shadow puppets. You remember?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm saying that's one of my favorite scenes. Like, that has a very Pee-wee's Big Adventure sort of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Because those guys did the claymation stuff in that movie. And
did they say that they used the music? There was a specific part of it. I don't know which scene, but there's a specific musical part that they were going to use for a different movie. I don't know if it was like Batman or...
I doubt Danny Elfman was involved in this movie at all.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
He cut his teeth on this movie.
I think I looked up the guy who did the score, and it did not Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
He went by Daniel Elfman back then.
Exactly. Eventually, the clown gets more of these people, through the shadow puppet thingies, and he turns his shadow into a dinosaur with a red glowing eye somehow, and then he puts all of them in his little bag, his little popcorn bag. And again, they're just wreaking havoc all over town. But there's this one scene that I forgot to mention, which, Tim, you have to admit, if you were a child, wouldn't you be scared? It's a scene where
I know the one you're going to say.
Yeah, the little girl's at Big Top Burgers or whatever, and she's just sitting there.
Big Top Burgers.
I actually
probably
think
is.
No, it is. And they were wearing like little birthday clown hats and like vests and stuff. Yeah.
And there's two women who that little scene reminds me of this film called Better Off Dead with John Cusack, especially the women. And they're just talking, having their own thing. And the little girl's like, oh, I don't want to eat this. And then she looks outside. There's a big clown. And he's just like doing his little finger roll. It's like, hey, come here. Come. Without saying those words, obviously. But and the little girl's like, oh, it's my mom. Oh, she's distracted. Let me just walk out. And she's like keeps walking towards where the clown is. And he has a big ass joke of a hammer. Like, what is he gonna do?
I know, he has a giant mallet behind him like he's Wile E. Coyote.
If you're like, yeah, exactly. If you're kidnapping people I'm assuming for food, like that's what they use us for, apparently, to turn us into cotton candy and then suck our blood. But like, why are you going to kill this child with a big ass sledgehammer or whatever?
Yeah, I know. He's weirdly vindictive against children. Yeah, you're right, Luis. That scene was a little bit creepy, I will say. I felt really scared for her for a moment there.
Chris was laughing. He did not. He actually wanted, Chris wanted to see the child get pulverized with a hammer.
Chris was like, let's see how this turns out.
I'm kidding. No, he didn't say that.
I'm sorry. I have to fully admit that I was looking up here. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. The love interest from Christina Applegate. Yeah, the guy works for a clown dog. I don't know. It was a clown themed hot dog delivery food thing. I was trying to go deep on that. So
wait, I remember that.
Sorry, just trying to. Yeah, that movie. I remember fantastic.
That guy. Oh yeah, no. Don't Tell Mom. Yeah, that's true. He had like a little yellow bow tie with red polka dots or something.
Yeah, and he had a delivery truck. Yeah.
Why don't we just turn this into a Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead episode recap?
Well, the reason
Transition
is,
the episode halfway
we've
through.
got Big Top Burger, Clown Dog, whatever. I just thought there was like a shared universe where
Maybe there's a shared universe.
Yeah, just a couple years after all these clowns, a babysitter is dead.
God.
Coincidence? I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
But eventually, as they're trying to find these clowns, Debbie finally decides to get out of the shower, and her old clothes that she threw in the hamper has a little bit of popcorn on it. So we talked about the little bit of the practical effects back then earlier, but the hamper opens up and it's like a bunch of clowns trying to bite her, and then she's running through the house like, oh my god, blah blah, and then the clowns are everywhere, and she's like, fuck, I'm gonna jump out this window, and the clowns are wearing like a little firefighter's fire hat. They're like trying to catch her, different ways.
They've got a trampoline outside waiting for her.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually they do catch her and they put her in a balloon, a big yellow balloon with red polka dots, and she's like, help.
Which she can't get out of.
No, she can't get out of a balloon. It's probably not latex, but eventually they take off, and that's when Mike and Dave get to the house and they see like, oh shit, she's being taken somewhere else. So they follow the clowns to try to save her and save the town.
But all this time, Officer Moody doesn't trust them and is taking calls in the police station from various people reporting, all of them reporting.
Including his friend, the pharmacist.
Yeah, we're saying, no,
everyone.
not you too.
Not you too. Yeah, they all are reporting the clown-related disturbances in the city, and he's like, everyone's pranking me. Everyone wants to make a fool out of me.
Yeah. I wish I would have written this down, but when the clown, and then eventually the clown walks into the station, and then all of the stuff happens that we were talking about earlier, but his reaction is something like, oh, gee, I can't remember what he says, but he's just laughing at this clown, and I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, I don't remember the line, but it's something like, holy smoke-a-rooney, or some shit like that. But yeah, so I was going to make a comment because I know that Chris disagrees with me, and so do you probably, Tim, because I think we talked about it earlier. But
let's hear it.
Okay, so the clowns eventually they go to their big circus, whatever, and their little clown car stops in front of the security guard. So the door opens. Yeah, this door opens and a bunch of all these clowns start coming out. The big ones, this little Winky, Dinky, Pinky, whatever his name is, and
I think it was Winky, Dinky,
Short
Pinky.
King. We'll just call him Short King.
And the security guard, poor guy, he was just eating his little PB&J sandwich. And
I
he's
know.
just there
He's
waiting.
like an older security guard. He's not a police officer.
He's like ready to retire. No, he's there to retire.
I read that they were going to get Soupy Sales to play that part, but they didn't want to pay for his plane ticket.
Wait, who is Soupy Sales?
I have to look it up again, but he's like an old actor that I think had to do something with like clown stuff. Yeah.
Well, so like the clowns come out and the guy's like, hey, what are you all doing here? And then one of them just throws a pie at the security guard, which is like, oh, ha ha ha, whatever. But then they just keep throwing pies at him, and then he's like immobile, like he can't do anything. He just starts to fall down, and at the end of the pie throwing contest, I guess, he is covered, like he's just like melted, and now he's like a glop of whipped cream, and the little Short King decides to put a little cherry on top. But the reason I bring this up
keep
is
complimenting this clown. They're murdering the security guard with a million pies, and all you can think about is that he's a Short King.
He is a Short King, but I'm just
saying put some respect on his name. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, that's
a
not his
murderer.
name. But the point I'm trying to make is like, if you had 200 pies thrown at you and you are not able to move, let's just say you're just standing there. Somebody throws 200 pies at you. Wouldn't you die too? Would suffocate.
I'm taking a look at my notes here, and I believe the direct quote from Luis was, "That many pies, you die." No.
Well, all at the same time, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if they're in this case, they're radioactive pies that melt the man. But you were just talking like, okay, hold on. Pause
Regular
the movie.
pies, yes.
Pause the movie. If someone threw 200 pies at you, you would die, right? I'm like, you'd just be covered in pies, my friend.
Yeah, and most of them aren't even hitting your mouth.
Well, no, but it's like your face, like you would suffocate, but like with enough pies on your body,
you're not getting dumped into a pool of pies. That's a different story.
No, but like people are like throwing pies at you, so they're using their full force. worse.
Look, I fully understand the situation. We disagree.
I feel like your body would start to give in, and it's like, oh my god, there's like people are hitting me with so many pies. I'm falling to the ground, and then so now you're on your knees, and they start throwing pies in your face. You're gonna suffocate. That's what I mean. I don't mean in terms of impact, like anyway.
Well, okay, hold on though. But they didn't throw them all at the same time. It was like one after the other, and he didn't even fight back.
That's even worse.
He didn't even fight back.
That's because he's ready to retire, and he doesn't want to risk injuring his body.
But it's still a security guard, doesn't he? He
was just eating his sandwich out of his plastic bag,
I know, but he's still a security guard. He's got to have in the back of his mind that he's got to have one last throwdown with some crooks.
I mean,
you really
fight back some cherry pies.
He just knows he goes to work and he tells his partner, I might not come back. Maybe I'll get tonight's the night with the pies.
Tonight's the night I get covered in pies.
Yeah, that was not what he wanted on like his tombstone or like in the story that everyone tells back at the station.
So eventually, Dave and Mike get to that same spot. They follow the clown. Too late for the security guard, unfortunately. But as soon as they get to the little pile of pies. Key lime pies there.
They bring the brothers, the ice cream bros with them.
That's true. Yeah, they all four of them show up, and they see the skeleton hand coming out of the pie junk. So they're radioactive or something. But as soon as they start
I have to add that it's not obvious they're radioactive. I think they just pelted him with a bunch of normal pies,
and that's how he died. See, I agree.
Oh my gosh. Agree to disagree.
Listeners, write in. What do you think? Was he killed by a bunch of normal pies?
Has a relative been melted by a pie? Let us know.
Please let us know, and we will feature you on the next episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're inside, the four men, all men. They're like,
of course,
and they're trying to find Debbie. And then somehow the twins, the Ferenzi twins or whatever, the Terenzi brothers, they fall against the wall or something, and they land in a pit of like rubber balls, right? Like those little plastic balls.
It's like the ball pit, like at a Chuck E. Cheese, whatnot.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, the ball pit. They're not rubber, but they fall in there like,
might be rubber.
They're like, great. Oh, shucks. What are we going to do now? They don't say that.
There's no girls in this ball pit, and I like girls.
Yeah, I got a pin. The pin says so.
The pin says so. I can't be lying. And then suddenly there's these two really sexy clown divas sitting there.
Divas. They were divas. Let's be honest.
Tim,
you're being kind.
You weren't into those clowns.
No. Did you not see the hair? Like one of them had like the, what do you call it? Like the little doll from The Conjuring. She looked like the little Raggedy Ann doll with the hair.
Pigtails? Is that what you're talking about?
Chris, did you not see their bazingas?
Well, I was gonna get to that where I'm like, okay, their boobs are inflating as we sit here,
and they were lopsided too.
But they didn't just have.
Well, they weren't inflating one. They had different air tubes, so they weren't going to inflate.
I'm just saying, if they were expanding.
Well, isn't that what straight men are into? I mean, let us know. Like, is that something? If you saw a girl and her boobs just started to inflate in front of you,
Tim,
I like a committed relationship. Okay, how dare you?
I like girls just like any Terenzi brother, but I don't.
I believe you
that I like breasts that enlarge in real in front of
helium
me
in real time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, to each his own.
Yeah, I don't speak for all straight men. We're not a monolith. Some people like inflatable boobs, and that's that's your deal.
That's on them.
Yeah, and Tim likes inflatable asses, so there you go.
Right. Yeah.
But then
with the bike pump. Continue.
And then the two clown girls look at each other, and then they look at the guys, and the guys are like, "Ooh, jackpot," or whatever the hell they say. I don't even know what to say. But then finally, we cut to Mike and Dave, right? Mike and Dave.
Yes.
Somehow they're trying to escape through a hallway, and it's like, open that door, and what's his face? Dave realizes
they saved Debbie.
Oh, okay, they saved Debbie at that point. Yeah. Okay, so they saved Debbie.
Popped the balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shot the balloon.
They shoot the balloon with a shotgun.
We've already skipped over one very important thing. I forget. I think it's Dave that finds out that if you just shoot them in the nose.
Oh, that was at the station. Yeah.
Yeah. Their
that is a
red
key
nose,
part. You're right.
Yeah, their red nose is their like undoing. So
And why didn't
that's their Achilles heel.
You did mention this, but like, why didn't he just like get on the radio and phone all of his
tell
nearby
anybody
cities like, hey, FYI, shoot them at the nose. That'll kill
Shoot
anybody.
the nose.
Yeah.
And then the other person's like, well, that'll kill anybody. He's like, yes, bitch, but that's how they'll kill these clowns. That's an X-Files reference. If you don't remember, Tim, where Mulder's like, how do we kill them? He's like, oh, you stab in the back of the neck. And he goes like, yep, but that's everybody dies like that. He's like, yes, but this is how we kill them. Anyway, so stupid.
I do remember that.
We always have to bring in an X-Files episode. Now we're waiting a little bit for Tim to bring in a
Buffy the Vampire Slayer
no, not
reference.
Buffy.
Oh no, Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone. Yeah. Anyway,
I can't think of one.
Okay. Just kidding. So
Luis is like, Tim, stop.
Well, there was a pair of broken glasses, like that one Twilight Zone with the broken.
Like the one with Burgess Meredith.
Yeah. I'm reaching here. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, a little bit. But okay, so yes, at that point, we all know now that in order to kill a clown, you need to pop its nose. That's all you got to do. And then as they're running through the hallway and they're like, okay, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here.
This is one of my favorite scenes. Continue.
Yeah, Dave starts to shoot at the clown and then he's like, oh, and then fucking Mike, like a dumbass that he is, he's like, oh, a door. And then he opens it. He's like, what? Another door? It's like, dude.
And keeps opening littler and littler doors.
Just open the doors and walk through them. There's no obstacle. Just open it.
He has to mug for the camera real quick. What?
He turns, he's like, what? Another door? And this guy's like, bitch, I'm out of bullets. Like, open the fucking door. He's
I'm telling you, Mike is high. Mike is stoned the entire movie.
You're right. And it's all in one night. Mike is just high the whole time.
He's just giggling and just getting frustrated with the door situation.
He's running at the mouth. Anyway, so he just keeps opening. He's like, oh, another door. And then they finally all get to the small, tiniest door. And they end up on the other side, a dark circus, like ring area, whatever it's called, and then a bunch of clowns, all the famous clowns, about 80 I think I read. There was like 80 people cast as
Twisty,
clowns. Yeah, Ronald McDonald,
Pennywise,
Short King,
Tim Smith. They're
all very funny.
They're all there. They're all there and they're ready to like kill them or something. And then they get on top of some boxes and then suddenly, oh wait, what happens? Is that where the Terenzi brothers like crash through a wall?
No, I think that's after. Yeah. So then there's the giant clown that comes down.
No, I think that's before, because they crash in and they're like, it's us, Jojo the clown or something, and they all turn and think that's real.
Yeah. No, I think that happens after. I can't remember now, but
no, it does happen after you guys, because the giant clown descends from the ceiling, and then the truck bursts in and it has a plastic clown on top of it, which is what confuses. Oh no! Wait,
I know. I
this
think
is so uninteresting.
You think it's
to
like
our listener.
It's the end of the movie. We're like, wait, no. Either way,
listeners are like, this is important.
Gigantic boss. The big bad boss.
Clownzilla.
Comes down.
Mother.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, because then
no. What happens is the plastic clown on top of the truck, when they burst in, distracts all my clowns. But then the giant big boss clown comes down and he's not fooled.
But that is one of my favorite things, is when the ice cream bros come in and there's like a mascot clown on the top of their
ice cream truck and they just start speaking through it, where it's just like, I don't know how intelligent these killer clowns from outer space are, but they understand interstellar space travel. I would think that they just have to obey any talking clown that they don't know, because that's all that happened. They all look and they're like, oh, okay, that must be Mother.
yeah.
And really, when you think about the implications of that, it also just means that if you just dress up as a clown, they'll believe that you're one of them.
Hey Tim, you'll be safe then.
Oh, you got me again. You got me.
Yeah, maybe we're getting to the deeper level of this movie.
Oh,
yeah,
right. I have a PhD. Write this for my PhD thesis or whatever. But then
I bet someone's done that.
And then finally, Clownzilla comes from the ceiling or from the sky, not the sky, from the ceiling. He's being brought, or she's being brought down with strings, and then
Or
they, and then they rip their little strings off, and they go towards the freaking ice cream truck, and then just like they throw it away, and they're like, "Fuck you, I'm the real clown here," which is I say every day when I go to work. Anyway, when I go to the lodge, I'm the real clown here. Somehow, I think Dave tells them, like, you guys need to leave, just leave. And then they start running, but Dave stays behind because he's going to be the hero. And then, like King Kong, you just see the clown grab Dave. And he has his hands inside the clown's hands because, the clown just grabs Dave like a little tiny doll. And I think at one point it is a doll, like a little Barbie doll. And then somehow he's able to, like, whip his hand out or whatever.
Well, Mike and Debbie
I've already
skedaddle.
They made it out. Yeah.
So Dave is sacrificing himself at this point,
which does not make sense. But okay,
I don't think it's necessary because just shoot the damn nose and get out of there, my guy.
Yeah. But it's also like I think he ran out of bullets by that time, so he uses his badge, and then he stabs the clown in the nose. And the way they shot it, it makes it seem like okay, so the clown obviously drops him. It's a good maybe 5 seconds before the spaceship explodes. But somehow, and it explodes like by the way, the spaceship is already like 1,000 feet in the sky. Like it's already up there. It's not at ground level because it's starting to take off. So how the fuck did he make it out?
Yeah, I wondered that actually. That was one of my notes I had was I had no idea how he somehow managed to make it out of that ship. It exploded in like the span of like 30 seconds.
Well, and apparently initially he died.
In the original cut, you mean?
Yeah, and then I find this odd. This is according to Wikipedia, which is always 100% accurate, but that there were test audiences that were upset about it. I'm surprised that there were test audiences for this movie. Maybe it was just like
it needs more clowns.
Yeah, maybe there were a couple more Kyoto brothers, and they all had a screening, and a couple of them had issue with it. I don't know.
I did read that they said. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. But and then the ice cream brothers, I didn't think they were going to survive, but then we did notice while watching it that if you look at how they're like covered in like glitter or something, but
glitter kisses.
So it's pretty obvious that they hooked up with the inflatable boob clown women.
100%.
Yeah.
They made out. They have literally lipstick or clown makeup on their lips. They saw
like
those inflatable
girls.
boobs. They like girls. They like girls.
So at that point, what's his face? Dave runs to the ice cream truck, right? That's how he survives. I couldn't remember how he survived, but that kind of makes sense then, right? Because if it explodes and he's in the truck could just fall down to the ground. And okay, that's fine.
It's kind of like an Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull kind of a thing. Like he survived in the fridge.
Yeah. So stupid, so dumb. But yeah, whatever.
How dare you? Tim has stock in that movie. He made that movie.
Oh,
he invested. Yeah.
I sure do. Ka-ching.
And then finally we end the film with all three of them in a throuple or something.
No.
But
that's one of my favorite parts is the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. The three of them are standing there.
They're all friends. There's no more competition.
But Mike, or so you think, Mike, or maybe there's no more competition. It's just acceptance because Mike is just standing there while Debbie's ex-boyfriend, Dave, his new friend, just kisses her on the head and they embrace while Mike just stands there by himself smiling.
He's like, I'll allow it. He is high, lest we forget. He is high.
But it's like it ends with him kissing her on the head and Mike just standing there.
He's like, "Yep, I'm a cuck."
That's what we were saying. That's what we were saying afterwards. I'm like, Mike is he's into cucking. I don't know. He's getting cucked by the cops.
And then they all look up and they're like, "Oh, okay, it's such a beautiful night now."
Oh,
and then a bunch of pies.
I
hit
guess
them
we
in the
really
face.
made it.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, do you think it's over?" No. And then that cool song comes back in and
as the pies hit them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Chris, Tim, we've come to the end of the episode. Before we finish off, I want to ask you all a question.
Oh.
After all the chaos, cotton candy carnage, and popcorn madness, You have to survive one night trapped in killer clowns from outer space. What's your ultimate survival plan?
Ooh, Chris, you go first. I have to think of mine.
And remember, it has to be an absurd answer. Don't be like, oh, I would hide in the closet and wait for it to end.
I'm sorry. I want to just say all you got to do is pop their nose and you're fine. So I don't.
That is the ultimate plan, really.
Yes,
yeah.
The thing is, like, you couldn't just do that. They're gonna come after you with like their laser guns and their little
Right. They would adapt.
You make it seem like you could just walk up to the clown and be like, "Hey, you," and then they turn and you just pop their noses. Like, it's not that easy.
I don't know. I'd hang out with those ice cream brothers. Have a Choco Taco.
Really, they seem insufferable.
Well, they have the only working vehicle apparently in town. So.
Oh yeah,
that is true. How about you, Tim?
I think what I would do is I would hide in that lady's hamper where those little aliens ended up, and then when I see them climb in, I'll be like, yeah, and then I'll hit them with a karate chop.
I would succumb and just like I'll walk up to the little short king and be like, just take my body, and then the clowns will be like, we're good actually. Like,
take me for what I am.
Just take me for what I am. It was like
what I was meant to be.
I was meant to be your bitch, little Winky. They'd be like, no, I'm good.
He's like, actually, we don't need every human.
Exactly. You can stay behind. Well, I want to thank Chris. Just Chris, not you, Tim. Thank you, Chris, for being on the episode. How did you like it?
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. Thank you for finally getting me to watch this cult classic that people are shocked when I say I haven't seen this.
And now you're going to,
Yeah, I'm glad I finally did. And thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll have you back on to discuss, if you're up for it, gateway to horror films.
I am down to clown, my friend.
Wait for it.
No.
Awooga. Honk. Well, there's really clown behavior going on right now. But,
I know. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Okay.
If you enjoyed today's episode, then feel free to leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. If you'd like for us to cover any specific story, then email us at ittybittyhorror@gmail.com. You can also follow us on all social media under Itty Bitty Horror. Tim, what are we discussing next week? Come on, boo.
Oh, okay. All right, well, Luis, we are going to get in our clown cars. We're going to all climb into one. It'll be really funny. And we're going to travel all the way to the Appalachian Mountains with special guest Araya, previously from the Time Traveling Gas Station episode, a classic. And we're going to discuss everything we didn't discuss in the first Appalachian episode. So it's Appalachia Part 2.
Yes. So we're going to be discussing the sheep squatch.
Oh no, that's too scary. We can't.
Too scary. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about real cool stuff, not like last time. Last time was a loser episode. Those are for losers.
Who are we kidding? It was a loser episode. Don't even listen to it, listeners.
No, actually, do. So you can prepare for this one. But yeah, thanks once again, and remember, even the smallest chills can linger
long after
the story's end.
Where is that dog?